What is up, you guys? Film Fan 0599 here again, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts and sort of a discussion on these Disney live-action remakes of their animated films, and are we getting too much of them? Are they kind of overdoing them a little bit? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give my thoughts on it because, Disney's been doing a trend lately where they've been, making live-action remakes of their classic animated films. Back in 2010, their first one they ever did, really, was of Alice in Wonderland. And that was really the start of it, of these, live-action remakes of their classic animated films. And they did Maleficent, they did Cinderella, they did The Jungle Book, and this year we're getting, Beauty and the Beast. Well, they did Pete's Dragon as well, and then this year we're getting Beauty and the Beast. So they've been doing a lot, and we're getting a lot of them in the future. And the question at hand is it too much? Is it getting a little bit out of hand? It's like, I'm mixed about this. I really am. I'm like mixed about this. I'm like, yes, there is a little bit too much, but no, at the same time, because I think there are some that can really work as a live-action film. And I will explain both points of mine in just a second, because I've been seeing a lot of people are like, is this really what Disney's going to do nowadays, is just make live-action remakes of their classic animated films instead of making, original stuff. They're still making original stuff, trust me. But, I have been seeing a lot of people as of late complaining about this, and we're going to talk about it. So let's get into my point of, actually first, let's talk about these live-action remakes that they have, set up for the near future. I have them on my phone right here. I have an article that has all of them on here. So let's first, they got Mulan coming pretty soon. And I think Mulan definitely, out of all of these, can work the most as a live-action movie, because you can do a sort of epic feel, an epic setting in China, with this movie. You really can set an epic tone in China with Mulan. And I think it could be an epic movie if it's done right. And I definitely think out of all of these that are in this, that they have upcoming in the future, I think this is the one that can work the most. And honestly, I'm very excited to see what they can do with Mulan out of any of these that they have listed for the near future. Apparently, they're going to do a Little Mermaid one. I don't know about this, because I know Universal, I believe Universal is doing their own version of The Little Mermaid as well, which more or less is based on the book than the Disney animated film. So I can see why Disney wants to do their own with their, with their own style, with their music and stuff. But I heard that, Universal's doing their own Little Mermaid. So I don't know really if we need two live-action adaptations of The Little Mermaid, but we'll just have to wait and see with that. And of course, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I think that could be cool to see a live-action adaptation of that, even though we've been getting tons of Snow White films. I mean, we had 2 in 1 year. We had Snow White and the Huntsman and Mirror Mirror back in 2012. So, honestly, I think we can lay off of the Snow White movies for a little bit. But, yeah, I'm interested to see what Disney could do. Now, this is the one that I am really the most, I'm not feeling it. The Lion King. I mean, it's being directed by Jon Favreau, and James Earl Jones is coming back to voice Mufasa, and, Donald Glover is going to voice Simba. So I don't think the movie's going to be bad or anything, but really, do we need a live-action adaptation of, The Lion King? I don't really think we need it, to be honest. We don't really need a live-action adaptation of The Lion King. I seriously don't. It really is unnecessary to me. Like I said, I don't think the movie will be terrible or anything. Of course I'll go in with an open mind and see if it will be any good. I'm pretty sure it will, because, Jon Favreau did an excellent job with The Jungle Book, so I don't think he's not going to do too bad of a job with The Lion King. But I just really think it's unnecessary that we need a live-action adaptation of The Lion King. It's just really unnecessary to me. We're gonna have a Cruella de Vil centered movie. Do we need that? Do we really need that? I mean, they did a pretty good job with Maleficent, I mean, I enjoyed the movie, unlike most people, where it's more villain, centered and everything. I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but I don't think. But here's the thing: her backstory is interesting, and it was interesting to see her backstory and everything. And Maleficent is more of an interesting character than Cruella de Vil, so I don't really think a whole, prequel movie about how she became Cruella de Vil and everything would not be interesting to me. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem that interesting to me, and it really doesn't pique my interest all too much. Apparently they're gonna do an Aladdin live-action remake. Whatever. I think this is another one that's unnecessary. I don't really think we need a live-action adaptation of Aladdin, to be honest. Peter Pan. I think it's kind of too soon to do a Peter Pan live-action film because, yeah, 2000. Yeah. Warner Brothers did one and it wasn't good. It was called Pan. So I don't really think we need one anytime soon, but I think Disney could do a pretty good job of bringing Peter Pan, doing a live-action remake of their animated film onto the big screen. So, yeah, and, apparently they're doing a Tinkerbell one too. I don't know about that one, really. Dumbo, really unnecessary as well, and apparently it's being directed by Tim Burton. I don't really think it's needed as well. And Winnie the Pooh, this is the one, besides Mulan, this is the other one I'm really interested in, because I am actually interested to see where they could take a live-action adaptation of it, and apparently it's supposed to be with a grown-up Christopher Robin. So I am interested in that. I am interested in that aspect of the film, so I am interested to see where they could do with a live-action adaptation of Winnie the Pooh, and especially with the element of a grown-up Christopher Robin. I think that could be excellent. So that's what I'm interested about. Now, so I don't think, because like I said, on my part with the no side, I think there are some that could really work as a live-action film. Like I mentioned, Mulan could really work. Winnie the Pooh with this concept could really work. Why about something like The Sword in the Stone? That could really work as a live-action movie. I don't know why they haven't considered that yet. That could really seriously work as a live-action adaptation. I would love to see that. Heck, Meet the Robinsons, I think, could work as a live-action adaptation of a movie. I know the movie only barely came out 10 years ago, but I think that could work as a live-action adaptation. Set in the future and everything. I think that could really work as a live-action movie. But, I don't think, because there are some that could really work, like the ones I just mentioned, those could really work as great animated features. Heck, they could do a Tarzan one. I know it'll be a little bit too soon because, Warner Brothers did their version with The Legend of Tarzan, but I think with Disney doing one based off their animated film could be really good. I think they could really do a great job with that. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on the no side of it. On the yes side of it, yeah, it could be a little bit too much considering of the unnecessary ones. Like I mentioned, Lion King, Aladdin, the Cruella de Vil movie, Dumbo. Do we really need those? Are those really something we need? Heck, even Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, really. Do we really need, because for one, they've already overdone, we're overdone with Snow White movies at this point, really. So do we really need another one? I know it's being made by Disney, but do we seriously need one? I really don't think so. And like I said with The Lion King, it's really, to me, unnecessary that we need a live-action adaptation of the film. And with Aladdin, because there's one element you cannot recreate with that, and that's the genie. Because a big part of that was Robin Williams' performance. So I don't really think they can really recapture that. So that's what makes me really nervous about the Aladdin one, because you can't recreate that magic. You really can't. So I don't know how necessarily that one's going to work. I think the atmosphere could really look cool in live action form, of Aladdin, but I just don't know how they're going to, pull it off, really. And it kind of makes me really nervous, to be honest. And Dumbo, do we really, I really like the movie Dumbo, but do we really need a live-action adaptation of it? And directed by Tim Burton, did we not learn the first time of him directing a live-action adaptation of a Disney film? It did not work, so why are we bringing him back to do another one? I don't know, so, yeah. And I think I even heard that they're doing a Lilo and Stitch one. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know if we necessarily need that either. So I can see it from both points of view. I can see it on the yes side because, like I said, there are some really unnecessary ones and really ones that don't need to be, created into a live action film. But also on the no side, there are some ones that could really work. Like, seriously, there are some ones that can really work as a live action adaptation. And I would be so excited to see that. Like I said, Mulan, that could be great. Winnie the Pooh, with that concept of, Christopher Robin growing up. That could be great. You know what I mean? So I think those concepts could be great for those movies. So I really think those could work. The Sword and the Stone. Why don't you do that? Like, there's some great ideas, like some great animated films that they could translate to live action. Don't do Lion King or Aladdin. Like, those are but do something, like I said, Sword in the Stone, Beat the Robinsons. Those could be great. So, yeah. So, like I said, I can see it from both points of view of yes and no. Is it too much? Yeah, it can be. But at the same time, there's some great ones that they could do with a live-action adaptation. So, yeah. So, that's my 2 cents on the whole situation. So, well, I want to know, what's your thoughts on it? Do you think Disney's doing way too many live-action adaptations of their animated films, and do you think they should stop? Or do you think, hey, these are great ideas. I would love to see all of these turned into live action. So I would just want to know, what do you think? Please leave in the comment section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we'll see you all later. Peace.